All right. I want to talk about motivation, meditation, inspiration. What I'm going to talk about today is how to be your own. How to have the mentality that no matter the challenges that you face off against, you can overcome them. Hi, my name is Marcel, and this is Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration, where we ask the question every day, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? And so when we eliminate the things that aren't meant for us, the things that are meant for us start moving in our direction. And so when these things start moving in your direction, the energy and the flow inside of you moves in a way that you become unshakable. That means if your situations around you change, you're still held together inside. That means if you have ups or downs or things are facing off against you, you have the ability to overcome them. And I want to help you to get that mentality into that place. I want to help you to find the way to use the skills, the abilities that you already have inside, the things that you can utilize. It's so interesting that when they call somebody with a ability, they call it an ability. When they look at somebody and they say you are disabled, that's what they're calling you. That's what they're saying about you. The question isn't what they're saying about you, it's what you're saying about yourself, what you believe about you. Are you enabling your mind? Are you using the skills that you have, the abilities that you have inside to overcome your challenges? See, because we all face off against challenges. We all have things that come up against us. And the greater the challenge, the greater the ability that you can overcome that challenge. And so if we allow ourselves the ability to give ourselves excuses rather than utilizing the skills that we have, utilizing the degrees that we have, utilizing the mentality that we have, then we end up calling ourselves disabled. So what is it that builds an ability inside to have an able mentality? What is it that gives you the ability to allow yourself to eliminate the things that aren't meant for you, to be fine inside even when challenges are coming your way? And so when we start to focus on that, when we start to seek out that kind of place, that kind of mentality, that kind of ability, what is it inside of you that gives you that capability? What is it that will find its way into your mentality, into your being, that no matter the challenges you face off against, you become the solution? And so when I'm facing off against things, when the things aren't working in my direction, all I got to do is start to focus. All you got to start to do is set down the ability to write it down. Because guess what? Once you start writing things down, once you start putting things into a place of being, once you start to manifest those things inside of yourself, the challenges that you face off against no longer have the ability to hold you back. What does is how focused you are. What place you put yourself on a daily, what kind of environment do you allow yourself to be in? Are you allowing the abilities that you do have, the skills that you have, the mentality to be stronger than the challenges, or are the challenges stronger than you? So this is where the ability to write things down comes in. Because once you start to write things down, you can look at the positives and you can look at the negatives. And it's as simple as starting to flip those negatives and turning them into positives. It's as simple as opening up your mind and opening up your ability to believing in yourself, believing in what you're truly made of, what you were brought here to do, what you're able to overcome, and what it will take to be who you are within. And so, see, when we look inside of ourselves, we start to think about all the experiences we've had. We start to think about the challenges we've faced off against, the things that have come up against us, and how we have overcome those challenges. It's not that they're easy. It's that the challenges that we have is called experience. And that experience, that ability to gain that experience, that ability to gain that momentum, to gain that understanding, to gain that place inside, to center ourselves inside of who we are, to have learned from the challenges that we face off against. They help us to enable our mind. They help us to overcome our challenges. They help us to become that person we are inside, and they help us to have that energy inside start to flow in a positive direction. See, all of us have faced off against things. All of us have had some form of challenge that if we didn't continue, we would have stopped right there. That is the amazing part about growing. That is the amazing part about utilizing your degree, utilizing your being, utilizing the years that you've had on the face of this planet. And are you truly in a place where that becomes what you seek out after? See, a lot of people are seeking out after the process of focus. And they forget about the place of knowledge, the seat of knowledge, the seat of gaining and utilizing and understanding yourself, understanding your challenges. See, a lot of times they're so focused on needing to have this, they forget that your knowledge inside is sufficient. Your ability inside is sufficient. One of the places where we start to see that the most is if you've been through physical therapy. I have multiple times. I've been through physical therapy, and you have to relearn something, right? So this is something that you've already learned. This is something that you've already utilized. And here you are having to relearn how to utilize that. And so in that time and in that place, the knowledge inside opens up that, oh yeah, I was able to do this before, so I can do this again. See, that's an enabling mentality. That's an enabling ability. So are we able to utilize enabling ability to give us the ability to no longer allow ourselves to disable our own minds? Can we use motivation and seek out that instead of the reasons why we can't do things? Seek out the reasons why it's possible, and that the word impossible is just a word, right? So there's a lady who fell out of an airplane. Now, before she fell out of the airplane, people didn't believe that somebody could fall from such great heights and survive. And she lived for a great while after she had actually fallen out of an airplane. And so that was impossible until it was possible. One of my favorite motivational speakers, Arnold Schwarzenegger, talks about the time he put a full-size log on his shoulder. Before that log, they were saying to him that was impossible. Well, he video recorded it, put a chainsaw in his other hand, and did it as a joke, just so people could understand that your mind is greater than your challenges. So a lot of the times, the walls that we're facing off against are in our minds. They're in our ability, they're in our places, our professions. So if we allow ourselves to eliminate the things that aren't allowing us to open our minds to that point, then we start to find that the process of being ourselves opens up. The knowledge starts to express itself. The ability to light up starts to open up. And inside of that place, we find discipline. Inside of that place, we find a reason to have a reflection of inspiration. So I want to inspire you to find that place inside of yourselves, to find that place inside of your mentality, to utilize your lessons, to seek out the lessons in the process of knowledge, and to seek out the seed of knowledge that it might open you up and free you from your challenges, free you from those things that might stop you, and so that you might believe in yourself. If it's not motivation, if it's not meditation, if it's not inspiration, if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. And every day I work to make sure that that's all I have in my life. Once again, this motivation, meditation, inspiration, blessings, and namaste.